EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for January 7th, 2019. I'm going to apologize in advance of doing this video. I'm not going to be as clear and my voice is a little more raspy than it was this morning when doing the Weather Weeklies video. After watching that Eagles game this evening, I was screaming quite a bit, so my vocal cords were certainly fried there for a while, but starting to come back a little bit. So today we're expecting any morning sun, any peaks of sun you see in the morning will fade behind increasing clouds rather quickly. And we're going to have the system moving in from the west and associated warm front. It's going to be much colder today. Temperatures are only going to be in the, excuse me, temperatures are only going to be in the middle 30s for many areas, maybe upper 30s down further south and east. So there will be cold air in place, and that's in large part due to this high pressure that's sitting over northern New England. It's kind of anchored here and funneling cold air in here in advance of this. Now, this is not a lot of precipitation coming in. This is just light stuff, but it will be moving in overnight, and I think most areas are going to get into this action. Generally, for most areas, it's going to be a midnight to 6 a.m. type deal, so it's not a lot of time either as this moves eastward. But you see, as this precipitation moves in, very light, just the gray stuff here. But this is going to promote some maybe some snow and sleet mixed at first, and then going over to freezing rain. Just very light amounts, though. Most areas are seeing under an inch of snow and under a tenth of an inch of ice accrual, probably a lot less than that actually. And we'll go over to freezing rain at some point for most areas. Could just be spotty freezing rain and drizzle, real light though. But it doesn't take much to cause problems with icing. So that just keep that in mind. Areas going below freezing overnight will have that issue. And this is looking at overnight here. So you see the 32-degree line is way down here. South of I-78. I think 78 would normally is a good marker for these events, but you see this high pressure is still here, so it's funneling in the cold air on the eastern slopes of the Appalachians and it's keeping it cold overnight. So that area is, I'd say, probably halfway between I-76 and I-78 is where your cutoff is. Down here closer to the Pennsylvania and Maryland border, you won't have any issues, and same thing with South Jersey and Delaware, Philadelphia, it should be okay. It's just a little bit further north of there. So I want to focus on this and go over the NAM high-res future simulated radar. This is the new NAM that came in this evening, and this is looking at 10 p.m. So it's still west of the area. You see these. I'm going to give you the color codes real quick. Anything in green, that's the 32 degree line was way down here at this point. So you see it's way south. So anything north of here would be frozen. It's showing green. That's probably not green. It's probably like a snow sleet mix. This is moving east. So this is, again, 10 p.m., but most areas get into this around midnight. Any of this in the purple is freezing rain. Anything in the blue would be snow. And the kind of in between here, I don't know if you want to call that pink or something. We'll call it pink. The pink in between here is sleet. Okay, so snow and sleet mixed on the onset. When you first start getting the precipitation moving in, won't last too long, and then you get a changeover. You see that moving eastward. Here's the blue mixed in here. This is probably a snow-sleet mix moving eastward at 2 a.m. now, is what we're looking at. And behind it, you have the freezing, changing over to a freezing rain and drizzle. Again, just light amounts here, but you can see this going now. 3 a.m. changing over to freezing rain rather quickly. Here, a burst of snow here in northwest New Jersey also. And again, this is mainly, at this point, there's not really a lot of warm air advecting here, so here's your 32-degree line at this point. Anything north of there is frozen. Okay, just showers down in these areas down here. So just light showers too, not a real big deal. But again, this is going to move through pretty quickly. So by the time you get to 6 a.m., here's all you have left. All right, just maybe some spotty drizzle here and there that might freeze on a few surfaces in the far northern areas, Poconos, northern mountainous regions of northern, north central, and northeast PA. So that's what we're looking at here for the overnight. Again, not a real big deal. But it was something we had to send alerts for, probably have to do follow-up alerts for today as well. Going forward from this point, we are going to be mild here on Tuesday, and another system is going to be a little Clipper-like system moving off to our north over New York State. But because it's in this position and kind of blowing up a little bit, you're going to have some warm air advecting on the south and east side of this system. So you're going to have some temperatures go up here. We're going to be dealing with just a few light rain showers possible, mainly in the evening. Okay, not a real big deal here, but this is in the form of rain. This is no frozen precipitation with this one on Tuesday evening, and it looks like it just in the evening hours, and that's it. And then once we get to Wednesday, this system's going to wrap up in New England, give them a nice snow event actually up here. In our area, we're going to have very windy conditions that we're going to be dealing with. So windy conditions are going to move in overnight on Tuesday night and last right through the day here on Wednesday. Look how tight these isobars are here. We're going to have some wind gusts that are easily over 40 miles per hour in a lot of locations because of that. The pressure gradients can be pretty tight, and we're going to have temperatures actually dropping off a little bit throughout the day as this cold air starts to come in behind the system. We're going to have a big rush of cold air coming in behind the system. It's going to last straight through the weekend. And really cold. Actually, this is winter cold here. We're going to get not just slightly below, but I mean, it's going to be temperatures barely getting above freezing in many areas, okay? Or maybe not even getting to freezing for a couple of those days. So windy conditions go all the way through Wednesday evening and start to slack off here on Wednesday. It's going to be a prolonged wind event. I think you're going to be dealing with some power outages, and there's a very concerning thing here, because it's not so much that you're getting wind gusts 50, 60 miles an hour. I mean, that would be bad enough, right? We're talking about wind gusts that are over 40, which usually isn't a huge deal, but we're talking about such a prolonged duration of time that can lead to some outages, and that will be a concern straight through Wednesday night, the entire night, it looks like, until you get to Thursday, and then we finally get the winds to back off a little bit. Still a little bit breezy here on Thursday yet, at least early. And then we start to get improve after that point, after this moves away. Could be a few, by the way, on Thursday, or excuse me, Wednesday, there could be a few snow showers across our northern areas here as well. And then as the system pulls away, we are partly cloudy here on Thursday, mostly sunny on Friday with high pressure directly over top of the region. And then we're back to partly cloudy here on Saturday. Now, a very interesting system here on the end of the week, and I did touch on this in the Weather Weekly's video, not graphically, but now I have to here in this video, because we have a system off to our south. And depending on what model you look at, you know, most of it has been keeping it off the coast, but it's been creeping up a little bit further to the northwest here. And there's also a piece of northern energy up here. It's hard to see, but there's a little piece up here. And then here is your southern stream energy. If these two can come together a little faster, where they can interact with one another, you can get a snow event across our region here. All right, so it's just a matter of timing. And we don't know those exact details yet. So if you look at our local forecast, it'll say for Sunday, it'll say mostly cloudy, watching a storm, because we have a lot of uncertainties with this of what it's going to do, if we're going to have accumulating snow with this or not. It won't take much for this to bring an accumulating snowfall across the region. And as a matter of fact, here is the GFS that ran this evening. I'm recording this late again because I had to wait until my voice recovered here. But here is what the GFS has this northern stream feature diving a little bit faster, so it catches up to this system. This is what it looks like Sunday night. Just a few light snow showers that turns into a moderate snow event. Here's the one area of northern stream low pressure, and here's the offshore system. Okay, so these two are going to interact with one another. On the GFS anyway. Look what it does. Brings a moderate snowfall across the region where you get a good, 3 to 6 inches plus over some areas. Okay, so this is definitely a potential for this weekend, and we have to watch this very closely because this is coming at a time where you have one of those thread of the needle events we talked about. You don't have to wait till January 20th in the pattern flip to have this occur, especially when it's going to be cold, very cold straight through at least Sunday. So we will keep a close eye on this. This does wrap up into New England, and this is looking at Sunday afternoon. It's still snowing up here in our areas here Sunday afternoon, but you got a home game here in Foxborough where the Patriots are playing here at home. This could be a snow game, possibly. That'd be interesting. Playoff game, the divisional round here in New England. That could be make for a fun watch here on Sunday. I think they're the early game on Sunday. The Eagles have the 4:40 game on Sunday. That's down in New Orleans, where there's not going to be any issues of snow anywhere. But so this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to watch this very closely. We're not calling for this just yet because it's at our max range of the 7-day window, but it's something that can certainly trend in this direction. If the GFS is correct here, we could be dealing with some accumulating snow at least across our region, and this would certainly necessitate a snow map if this came to fruition. So we'll keep a close eye on this week and keep you updated. And in the meantime, we have the system tonight moving in, what's going to bring us this wintry mix, light wintry mix of snow, sleet going to freezing rain. Again, under an inch, it looks like in most places, and under 1/10 of an inch of ice accrual, but this is mainly a midnight to 6 a.m. deal across the region. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 7th, 2019. Have a great Monday.